outrageous the toll. You can lose all you have. He refused to give in to the town that takes all. To survive, you must have the will. How this movie doesn't end the way we want all the time. And he shouts at the moon, she's gone. Fears overcome. He was walking a mile. He was walking alone. All
Are you ready for fun?
Are we?
Do we have to?
No.
Oh, I thought we're just gonna run in and maybe butt naked and
You
see
can
what
do
we
that
can
if
do.
you want. It'll at least give me a good sense of...
I mean, Sean said fun.
I mean,
so-
yeah, you're the chaos one. If you want to run in naked, then you can go
Let's
for
see.
it.
Do I have any? I need my armor, so that's out of the window.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could because I use mage armor, which is better than the armor that I wear.
I hope Cassandra shows up.
Mm.
I say we just have a nice tea party.
Hey everybody, welcome to Funk Dunk Play Season 2, Episode 30. The Tea Party episode.
Woo.
During which we're going to become racist. And we're just going
Become?
to... Yeah, but we're going to become racists who also hate poor people. It's going to be good.
Again.
Yes, it has proposed that instead of fighting to close the Infernal Gate, we instead have a tea party.
Mhm.
So Muddler is in fact making tea. He's wearing a beautiful little French maid's outfit.
Hmm.
He said it was only appropriate. And the teacups look very dainty in its gigantic rock or mud golem fingers.
I'm gonna have to roll persuasion on Elisa to join, right?
Absolutely.
She's not gonna come quietly.
Okay, so I have to roll a charisma save on that, or...
No, we can. I guess we can, do stuff that resembles D&D. It's
I
alright.
mean, Elisa is because they had sent out spies to see what the situation is around the tower. I'm waiting to hear back from them on what we're up against before I figure out our plan of attack.
Alright, what do?
It's gonna stay in the bath until the water is freezing cold.
Okay, roll a constitution save. Ooh, you...
Botch?
Okay, I was gonna say if you didn't succeed, you got all pruny. But no, it's worse. You get all pruny everywhere. Like, even the bits that shouldn't get pruny, and it's gross.
And Susan is there to see it.
Yep, Susan is like, you know what? I'm just gonna give you this because I know it's so important to your mental well-being. Susan feels for you.
Okay.
And doesn't judge you.
Okay, good.
Susan's the opposite of the judgment sheep.
Thank you.
However, until you dry off, you have a +2 to all climbing rolls. Because your pruny hands give you better traction.
Fine, having achieved this, I'm gonna get out of the bath and just stay in my room until we get a notification or something.
Yeah, Elisa's pacing her room and occasionally shouting at the spy master to ask if the spies are back yet.
From her room?
Well, no, she'll like walk down the hall, go and yell at him through his doorway, and if they're not back yet, she goes back to her room to pace.
He doesn't reply to you directly. He just chuckles and goes, 37. Next time, 38.
Elisa scowls.
Yeah, okay, if nothing happens, it will walk out with everybody in tow and head over to Elisa's room.
Okay.
Heard anything yet?
No, nothing. Do you think we should send Mother? I need to know what the fucking tower looks like before we go in there. I know what we need to do when we get there.
I think it's probably cylinder-shaped. Still.
Well, I need to know if it's filled with fucking demons. So we don't get killed on the way to the top of the tower, because we have to get in that room and we have to burn that head.
I don't see how sending me would help us not get killed.
I'll burn this whole fucking city down if I have to.
It will walk over to the spy master and just ask, nothing yet?
Oh, I was waiting for you. Yeah, we got word about half an hour ago. I was just fucking with her.
I thought so.
Good thing she's in a different room right now.
Yep.
Yes, but spy master's probably not afraid of her, honestly.
Yeah, well, we did a little bit of reconnaissance, and our agents have just returned from the field. Incredibly, they're still alive, and have the vast majority of all of their digits. I was very happy with that.
How close did they get?
Well, they peered into the first floor windows. One of them crawled up the side of the building and looked into the other windows. The majority of the building appears to be relatively deserted, kind of like the majority of this city. However, and this is really important, they did say the top floor was impossible to penetrate, and there could be some, I believe they've written down here, very bad shit. Up there, motherfucker.
Anything more specific?
They weren't able to penetrate the defenses around the entryways to the top floor. They did hear a noise that sounded kind of like according to the one person who heard it best, that one time your mom fucked a gorilla, mate. I think he was trying to make fun of me. I'm not really sure. I never knew my mother, and I'm pretty sure if she fucked a gorilla, it would have resulted in me, because I am Jesus Hellforge.
Well, you seem to be pretty happy about it.
Well, if I was anyone else, it wouldn't be me, and I would feel bad for me in that situation.
So, basically, we know exactly as much as we knew before.
Well, right now we know there aren't demons wandering the streets, and there doesn't appear to be any sort of a guard on the majority of that tower.
Which means exactly nothing if you get on top of the tower and get badly murdered up there.
Absolutely true. And it is to be expected there's something extremely dangerous up there that sounds a little bit like a woman having sex with a gorilla. Have you ever seen a woman have sex with a gorilla?
No, but I have a feeling I'm about to.
It is life-affirming, let me tell you. Best 34 copper I ever spent, and nobody could ever see you weaving through the building because I let you leave through the back. Hey, you're only 13 once.
This guy. Anything else?
Well, and he opens a small drawer on the side of his desk, and he takes out a small bottle, a clear glass bottle with one black jelly bean in it.
Ooh.
He goes, "There's always this, but I'm not sure if you're quite ready for it."
What makes you say that?
He shakes it. The bean jiggles around. "But I can see that you're not interested. That's fine. I'll just put this away with the rest of the super secret lore."
You can just take it from him.
Well, would it help us in our current situation?
It may give you levels of understanding you never knew that were quite possible. However, does any information truly help if you are going to get slaughtered by a demon from the fifth dimension, the darkest vortex of your nightmares? Who knows?
Don't be such a cock tease. Give it to me.
Here you go then. And he gives you the bottle with this one black jelly bean in it.
Munch it.
And much like the black jelly bean that gave you the information before, remember though, you knew exactly where the location of the hidden base was.
Yes.
Similar to that, except now you have in your head detailed, like as if it's a memory that you experienced, as if it's something you've always kind of known. It's kind of a weird thing, like all of a sudden you remember remembering it. Like, it's like you didn't know it yesterday, but today you've always known it type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly what it looks like. For a woman you would assume is your mother having sex with an orangutan.
You're a funny man, Jesus Hellforge. A very funny man.
I pride myself on the quickness of my dagger, my wit, and my amusing practical jokes.
I have to give him finger guns. I just can't stop myself.
Right back at you.
He deserves them. This is really good. Alright, I'll return to Elisa then.
Yeah, no, she's still pacing the room, cursing, and now snapping her fingers and making small flames with prestidigitation. Not like actual flames, just like pictures of them, because she's just thinking about how much she wants to burn this whole city down. To basically cover up her mistake.
Well, a big surprise there.
Well,
We will just have to go in blind.
okay, so did it sound like there was anything in there to deal with?
Well, how do you feel about intercourse with primates?
I'd rather not, thank you.
Well, we're just gonna have to risk it. I think the words that the spies used were, there's some really bad shit.
Okay.
Well, see, we've seen some really bad shit before.
Was it inside or outside of the tower?
Well, apparently inside.
Alright. I guess I can shoot some spells through windows. We'll start with that.
It's either that or sit here and wait until something happens to us, and I'm not a big fan of that.
No, I'm either going to attack the tower directly or I'm going to burn the entire city down and hope that covers the tower as well.
It's a plan. Well, let's just see what we see.
I need to get up to the top floor, so I think I'm just going to fly there.
Assuming, is that
Okay.
something I can do, or is this portal touching the top of the tower? I mean, where is the portal in relation to the tower?
From all the ways you've seen it, you can't really tell. But from what the scouts had said, they implied that the tower itself is still intact.
I mean, it sounded like they got up to the roof safely.
Yeah, they got up there, but it's like the light from the tower is radiating through. The light from the portal is radiating through the even stone of the tower. It's almost like it exists half a phase away, reality-wise. Like they're both taking up the same space.
Okay, so I guess let's leave and head for the tower, unless there's something else.
Well, it's just gonna say, I just need a quick minute before we leave. And I'm gonna... I'm assuming Muddler is just used to holding on to Susan by now. He has her.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I'll ask Muddler to follow me, and I'll head to Gold.
Okay. I'm going to follow you, carrying Susan. Oh, don't worry, you're not heavy. Oh, you have not put on weight. No, you look fantastic, as pretty as the day you were formed in the heart of a molten star.
Those two are soulmates.
So
Alright.
this love triangle.
Or maybe he just, refuses to be sassy to non-animate objects. There's always that. Maybe he sees a kindred spirit in something else that also isn't real.
Alright, Gold is still in the conference room? Or has he retired?
It is, now, because you were there, it is roughly about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Gold has retired to his chambers for the evening.
Okay, fine. Muddler, please put Susan over there, and I'll indicate a spot.
Okay, I think she'd like to stand there anyway. Isn't that right? I agree.
Probably yes. And I'm gonna tell Mr. Eugene Fluffers II to stay put be a good boy. I mean, I don't have to tell him that. And I'll leave a note for Gold on the desk to please look after those two for me while I'm gone. And I'll leave them there.
He's not going to leave because you told him to sit. He's too good a boy to leave, but he's looking at you.
Have fun while I'm gone. But stay in here.
He looks around.
There's nothing to have fun with. Right? That's what he's saying.
And when you say to stay in here, he kind of like looks at you, and he like for a second does like a pantomime squat, and then like sits back down again and looks at you again. Like question marks over his head.
Just poop in here. Gold won't mind. I can't let you out. It's dangerous out there. Pep, pep. And I'm gonna leave.
Okay, after you close the door, Mr. Eugene Fluffer II looks over at Susan and goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And Susan looks at him and goes, and Mr. Eugene Fluffer II just goes,
Tension's so thick.
Yeah, that's their moment they have.
When we head out, Elisa wants to head to the rooftops to be able to like fly straight to the roof of the tower. I assume everybody else will just be following on the ground, but whatever they want to do.
I can't fly, so...
I mean, I figure, like, I want to go across the roofs with the idea that I can get a good vantage point on what the shape of the tower is like before I fly over to it.
When you get near the top of the tower, it is a sort of a weird thing where you can both tell that the tower is in fact intact, and yet it's like the portal is almost feels like it's superimposed on top of it. Like the portal itself is inside the top floor of the tower, but its glow and radius of glow extends far outside of it.
Okay, so it's not open outside of the tower, it's only open inside the top floor?
Yep. But it's like, it has like a corona of glow that's like around it that is just extending through the tower that was not there.
Okay, so I can float over to the roof and look down through the skylight?
Yep, you can in fact do that.
Okay, so I'll do that.
Well, let's face it, it's where you opened the portal to reach in and grab the head. Is a rather large portal. And it definitely looks like, from this close even you can tell, not being like a portalologist, you can still tell that it definitely looks like you can see and almost sense a flow of energy going from the other side of the portal to this one. Like the portal, what's holding the portal open is coming from the other side, like it was opened from the other side. That's what Muddler was talking about seeing the flange of the portal bent outwards and towards into our world, because it looks like it was basically bashed through from the other side.
Can I see the head though?
You know where you can see the body. The body is still there. It's okay, that's a very generous way of putting it. The rather man-shaped stain where the body used to be is still there, because it's been trampled completely flat. You don't really necessarily see the head, but you can see two forms lumbering around in that upper chamber. They're very large, and from where you are, you can actually you're seeing them from the top. They appear to be covered with sort of like a red fur, and they appear to be bipedal, but definitely very top heavy. Like their upper half seems significantly larger than their bottom half. And they're sort of like lumbering around, just like walking in circles around the center of the gate itself. just like sort of like beating a path around. Just like
Okay, so I can't see the head at all, though.
you cannot see the head.
Okay, this might be stupid, but I'm going to, telepathically message one of the demons speaking in Abyssal, because I know that language.
How go your duties, creature?
One of them stops in its circling. It looks around, kind of confused, and then says out loud, in Abyssal, of course. Who said that?
Don't talk back to me, creature. I asked you a question.
He looks over at the other one and goes, Flog, you hear that? And the other one goes, what do you speak of? Mere voices again. Oh, we have conversation about this.
Shut up, I didn't ask him. I asked you. I want to know how it is going, because I fear that you have lost the portal opener again. Where are the sigils? Do you still have them?
I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm putting a little extra harshness in for the Abyssal version of my voice.
Alright, you are gonna have to give a performance roll.
Okay. What have I got? Well, performance isn't as amazing as my persuasion or deception.
But you are trying to pretend to be someone you're not. Yeah, it's definitely a performance here.
Okay. 21.
Very good. He starts to... At first, he's very, very... Like, his reaction to you is very much, who are you, why are you in my head? But when you start asking about the portal key and the sigils, he goes, I not lose sigils, it was Flong. Flong lose sigils. I lose portal key, not sigils.
Where is it now?
In box.
Where? I need to make sure you haven't lost it. You fools.
Me not fool. Me lead 5th Legion into 14th pit of hell while eating grapefruit.
Then prove it. Where's the sigil?
No Flong, no sigils. Me no portal key. It ain't safe.
Okay, can Elisa see what he's referring to? Or do I need to talk to the other one?
He's just sort of like pointing at various different points of the ground every time he says a different word. He's like, it is safe. But, you can't necessarily, from your vantage point, make out exactly where he means from these gestures.
Okay, so I guess I will switch over to talk to the other one.
Now I asked your compatriots, I'm going to ask you, where is the portal key? You haven't lost it, have you?
I handle the sigils. Gopesh handles the portal key. I thought he explained that to you.
Okay, well where's the sigil?
With the portal key.
And where is that?
Safe.
Show me.
Wait. Why don't you know where the safe is?
Because I just got here. I was sent by the Lord to check on you.
And he didn't give you floor plan?
Let me roll my deception on this. 16.
They're very sharp.
He's just very naturally untrusting. If you were teamed up with Flong or with Gopesh for long enough, you would be very untrusting too. Flong he's sort of the babysitter demon. So, he kind of keeps an eye on the other one. Well, this will go and report,
I understand.
You will be in trouble if you're making fun of or making jokes. But safe is where safe belongs, under altar. Under lock and key, under altar.
Okay, is there an altar in this room?
What he's referring to, you think, is the workbench that was in the middle of the room.
Okay, so I can see this workbench.
You can see it, kind of. It's like looking at it, it kind of gives you a headache because you're seeing two things at once in the same space. You're seeing the portal, but you're also seeing, like, the room the portal's in, but it's like they aren't affecting each other, but they're in the same place, and it does make your head hurt a little bit even to look at.
Okay, so I'm going to address him again, saying,
Very good. I will put in a good word with you with the master. Continue.
and then after I've said that, I'm going to just gesture a finger toward that workbench and cast Immolation. Which I assume, it says to use it on a creature. I assume if I'm using it on a target like this, it just means it won't roll to defend itself. Because it's supposed to make a dex save against it. 8d6 fire damage, and it will be burning. Just melt the whole thing, maybe the whole room.
Okay, here's the immediate effect of what happens. You shoot the fireball. I'm envisioning it just as a fireball, so...
I kind of picture it as like the thing just suddenly ignites.
Alright, you do the thing, it ignites, and it burns brightly for about 5 seconds before all of the wooden paper that made out the outer shell of the workbench are gone, because they were dry, old, and mostly for show. Then it just reveals the black obsidian stone of the workbench's superstructure. And both of the large, furry demon guys are now looking around on heightened awareness going, what the fuck just happened?
It's gonna shoot a message to Elisa and say, what's going on up there?
There are 2 demons in the room, and the head is apparently inside of an obsidian desk. I tried to melt the desk. I didn't realize it was unmeltable. So now I'm wondering if I should just melt the demons and see if maybe they light the whole fucking room up.
Would you like any help up there?
Yeah, if you've got anything. This is gonna take all my energy to burn these guys up, and it might not even work. Also be warned, they're pretty alert right now, so we need to act quickly. They haven't noticed me yet.
I'm gonna cast Spider Climb on myself.
Okay.
16.
What is 16? Okay.
What is 16? Oops.
Okay, here's what happens. Now, I think we really need to set the scene for this to really make sense, especially to you, to anyone who might be listening.
Okay.
Elisa is hovering on top of the tower. She's just set something on fire, which didn't quite work. There are 2 large, scary-looking demons inside the top floor of the tower, who are now alerted to someone else's presence, and who are actively trying to find out who started that fiery blaze. They haven't spotted Elisa yet. You go to Spider Climb your way up. You cast Spider Climb on yourself, and right as the magic spell affects you, you magically teleport 50 feet to the left. You appear in someone's bedroom.
Who? Who is it?
Probably the cultist
You
who
don't-
got killed by Jeff.
Actually, there is an awful lot of blood.
But no demons.
And there's police tape. But there's no demons.
Anything interesting immediately visible that catches my eye?
Well, there is actually something you're kind of you've never seen before. It's it's shaped kind of like a really wide Y. It's a triple-sided dildo. With one end, that one end looks like it's for demons.
It looks like it's for demons.
It's for a loving couple to have 3-way penetrative sex with a demon.
Okay, I'll grab it.
Okay.
Which floor am I on? Doesn't matter, I have Spider Climb. Okay, I'll try my best to get back as quick as I can. And actually climb up the tower.
Okay, and you're holding,
Yes, I'm holding it because...
You're holding the yolk of devil fucking.
I have no time to put it away.
Okay. Each end of it is startlingly detailed and anatomically correct. You're still like sticky from the spider climb. You're just like blah, 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 blah. That's what you do.
Yes.
You actually make that noise, or else you can't
Yes,
climb.
I do.
Okay. Okay, so you get up to basically you cast spider climb, you vanish, you stagger out of someone's house carrying a triple-ended dildo, and you climb the building after Elisa.
I'll try not to get into their field of vision. I can roll stealth if you want me to. See if I can stay hidden.
Who are you staying hidden from? The demons?
The demons, yeah.
Okay, now we're trying to stay hidden from Eliza because you're afraid she was going to judge you for what you were holding.
I think we're past that point. Honestly.
She would assume
Okay.
that you wild magic a dildo into your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll stealthy stealth.
Well.
Okay, so what I'm going to need you to do now is roll a dex save.
20.
Okay, that was actually super good, and this is going to make this a weird combat. Okay. You're noticed, first of all.
Of course I am. I'm helping.
You're being super stealthy, actually. But what you don't realize is that the light from the portal reflects off the polished end of one of the ends of the dildo is polished steel.
Okay.
And it reflects literally right into the eye of one of these demons.
Mm-hmm.
And it sees you
Mm-hmm.
holding something that's glowing, and it goes, immediately assumes you're the one that started the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And it does
Naturally.
a running leap at you.
Can Elisa roll like a perception to see this happening and immolate the guy before he gets to us? Maybe being on fire will distract him.
He like notices and immediately is in the air. And you guys are not like next to each other.
Okay.
The demon sees him, does the leap, but then it very, very, very deftly leaps out of the way, like kind of like does like a combat side roll pretty much.
Wait, so is he
And
leaping through the roof onto
Yes.
through
Through the roof.
ceiling?
He's like basically doing like a leaping tackle. But of course it manages to get out of the way. It pauses for a second against the night sky, and then plummets about 110 feet to the ground.
So these aren't flying demons.
No, he doesn't have wings.
Okay, so
But man, was he gonna fuck you up if you missed that deck save.
Muddler and Sarah can handle what's left of that one.
Yep, and from below you hear, "Are you okay? Hey, that's very rude. You stop that.
Slapping at him.
Officially, I don't condone what you're doing to you right now, but you brought it upon yourself." So now you're down to one far more manageable demon.
Okay, so Elisa's gonna like, sigh and look over to it and say,
Hey, do you have any good spells to use on that thing? I don't want to use all of mine up. I might need some to get rid of that head.
While we're on the subject of fire. Yep, it's gonna be... He's just standing in the room, right?
He is now looking around. He just saw the other go on. This one, by the way, is Gopesh. There's no difference in their stats. I just gave them personalities. Gopesh is the slightly smarter one.
Okay.
He just saw Flong
dangerous.
fling himself out of the building, and,
Yep.
and now he's just like, the fuck? He's looking around.
Alright, so he's gonna get a fireball to his face. Oh, it's a dex save from...
Okay.
DC 17. Alright, that's half damage.
Yep, he leaps out of the way of the fireball, but he still gets singed, like, on his... The not that great bits.
Alright, half is 11 then.
Okay, he, you have severely singed one of his legs.
And everything around in a 20... No, each creature in a 20-foot radius. There are no more creatures. That's all
There are
right.
no more. He was pretty much by himself in the
Yeah.
room at this point.
Yeah.
And he is now stomping mad.
Really?
Yes.
Why? Also?
Mhm.
71.
And what happens here? You never know. I mean, this could, like, you could just win the campaign right now. Who knows? Okay.
But what does winning the campaign mean for it?
Marrying Susan?
Yes. After you cast the spell, and it doesn't appear to be doing a ton to this creature, suddenly you feel something in each of your hands. Each of your index fingers, in fact. The tip of them feels strange. You have this urge to just create a fist, but with your index finger up and your thumb... index finger out and your thumb up. Because you have this weird feeling you've got legitimate finger guns.
Can I ask on details, or will I just have to see?
Is it the gun stat out of the DM handbook?
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm just
it's-
permanently disfigured now.
No, they look normal.
Do they fire bullets?
I just have finger guns. Okay.
You feel like you have real finger guns.
Like you can really shoot bullets out of your fingers.
Or something.
Really? Okay.
I mean, I would
Well,
assume
that's
what you
real
feel.
finger guns are.
Yeah. I just feel okay. Cool.
Okay, does Elisa have time to cast Immolation on him before we have to roll initiative on this?
Yeah, you can go with the surprise round because he's still kind of like shocked at what everything that's going on. All of a sudden, that happens. Okay, you can cast Immolation on him, yes.
Okay, so second spell slot, Immolation. He has to make a dex save.
What's the DC?
16.
Which he makes.
Okay, so he takes half damage. Let me set this damage up. 15.
Again, this time, the Immolation, it flares up for quite a bright, and then just like almost as quick as he like consumes it in fire for a second, the fire is just gone, and he's kind of smoldering, and more of his fur looks burnt, but he doesn't look terribly affected, honestly.
So that's an initiative now, right?
Yep.
It is distracted by the dildo. With a 9.
17.
Woo!
He's very distracted by the dildo.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so that means I get to go first.
He's really upset that he's been set on fire twice, and he's just like really he's actually pouting right now.
You go first, yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I'll use up my cool spell, just because I'm hoping we'll get to rest after this. Do my Mystic Arcane, Chain Lightning. So, stretch out a hand, I'm gonna fire Lightning Bolt down on him. I'm looking it up now. Bolt of Lightning arcs toward a target. 3 bolts then leap from the target to as many as 3 other targets. So does that mean they would loop back on him, or is it only gonna hit 1?
Last time, you targeted the chair, the people and carriage, so now maybe you can target the workbench as well?
Oh, yeah, I can... Okay, so I'll shoot him and then try to shoot... Would I be able to, like, bounce one off under the table and hit the head that I assume is under the table? At least damage it.
You could attempt to, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I will shoot it at him, and the other 3 bolts are going to try to hit the head, I guess.
Okay, but you don't know all you know is like an approximate location of it.
Mm.
So that will, of course,
Okay, so
factor in.
there are 3 splinter bolts flying wildly toward where I think the head might be. But the one hitting him, he has to make a dex save, and it'll be 10d8 lightning or half of that.
Ooh, he fails the dex save on this one.
Okay, so 10d8 lightning. 41 damage.
That is a fair amount of damage. And it zaps him. He gets zapped, but good. And for the first time, he looks angry. That actually hurt! You jerks!
What about the other bolts?
Oh yeah, did the lightning bolts do anything?
They disappear in the general vicinity of the obsidian workbench, but you can't really tell for right now exactly what, if anything, they accomplished. Just because you are, positioned on the ceiling and all. On the roof, I mean.
Yeah.
Blah.
Alright, so I assume next chance he gets, he's gonna jump at us anyway, so I can I can just do this. I'm gonna take a leap and try to jump on top of him. And I'm gonna use Primal Savagery, which is a cantrip I have. I will make a melee spell attack on him. Claws are gonna shoot out of my fingers. And I like to think that I also get some, cat eyes or something and sharp fangs. And I'm gonna slash him with my claws.
That's just against the regular armor class, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
27.
I'm such a good DM.
27. I assume that hits.
That definitely hits. That would hit God.
Okay. All right. And another 11 damage. And I look insanely cool.
You do. In fact, right as you're coming down and you're like, you get your claws out and you got the cat eyes going on, and even though it's actually a clear night, a lightning bolt goes across the sky.
One of Elisa's.
No, just because sometimes the Traveler smiles upon you.
I hope
It
so.
gives you a really dramatic lightning bolt behind you as you jump through the air.
You should do that when people can actually see it and be impressed by it,
Yeah.
because Elisa doesn't care.
And everybody else is dead.
Okay, and now are you what happens? You land on him, you slash him, and then what happens at that point? What are you still on top? Are you ending your turn on top of him?
I mean, nah, I'll slash him and land next to him. Can I roll intimidation?
You know what? You can, but the DC is going to be really high.
But you know what? Hell, I'm gonna use Tides of Chaos and give myself advantage on it.
Okay.
26.
Well, you know what? It's good you... Well, actually, it wouldn't have mattered because your first one would have made it. The second one actually wouldn't have.
Okay.
After you came down and slash him, he is shocked because he had assumed that Flong had taken out whatever he was going after, and he was only going to have to deal with the one who was shooting lightning at him. He thought, like, okay, this is going to deal with this one here, and then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, there's fucking this like weird Spider-Man creature flying from the air. There's lightning bolts in the air, and it's stabbing him in the back. And I wouldn't say he's terrified. Because let's face it, he's a rather large fiend.
Mm-hmm.
But he does stagger back away from you for a minute, and that does cause him to lose the ability for 2 of his 3 attacks around.
Cool.
And he basically only gets to, he takes kind of a wild swing at you, and it almost looks like more of a swat than a swing. He's not really down with it because he's still kind of like thrown off by everything that's going on. But that's going to give him disadvantage in the attack. But he is attacking you.
I mean, yeah.
And what is your AC?
16. Well.
However, he has disadvantage.
What the... Well.
Well then, it doesn't really affect much, does it?
Not really.
So he is going to hit you with a bludgeoning swipe, and it is going to do 9 damage to you as he staggers back and sweeps at you, and just out of pure fucking luck, you dodge left and he swings right, and he just smacked clear into your head with a big ol' 8-paw.
Ouch.
Doesn't knock you down, but you feel it. And back to the top of the order, we have Elisa, who is still on the roof.
Okay, so I want to... Since he's kind of distracted, like caught up fighting it, who's like right next to him, I want to drop down and look under the table and see if I can see the head. Does that take my full action to do that, or would I still be able to burn it if I see it?
That would, because you'd be using basically your combat action to get down from the ceiling, and then your move action to go to it, assuming you're trying to also avoid provoking an attack from the demon. So, I mean, you could do it, but it would take everything just to get there and check it out and not also provoke an attack.
Okay, now I'll do that. Because we gotta shut that portal.
Okay. Yep. You manage to get your way down. It's not difficult, being
I can
that you
levitate.
can fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're also trying to make sure that you don't end up in paw strike range because you've got a mission.
Mm.
And yet you can see that underneath the workbench is, and also I didn't quite explain this when everyone got into this room, but the portal is and isn't here. So while you're doing anything in here, it's like the portal is there, you can see it, but it's almost like it's just superimposed over reality, so you can't interact with the portal. It's just sort of there, and it's bright. Right in the middle of it is where the workbench would be, and you look underneath the workbench, and, well, you don't actually see the head, per se. You do see what they were talking about. You see a large metal safe.
Mm.
Well, I've had it with this guy. And I have no desire to be fucked by this guy either. So it's going to be a blight for him.
Okay.
Constitution
Save.
saving throw. DC 17.
Okay, let's see what that happens. His con saving throw is... Ooh, wow.
Yeah, he's
He's
probably...
a big...
Yeah, a beast. Ooh.
Ooh, you said it was DC 17,
yes.
right? Oh, he barely misses it, yeah.
No dice.
Plus 60. That con saving throw is pretty high. Still. I mean, his con bonus. I mean, his con saving throw bonus.
I'm a bad mother. Alright, so 8d8. 35 damage to our gorilla friend. I assume he's a gorilla or some kind.
He's ape-shaped.
Yes, he's ape-shaped.
Grape ape-shaped.
That's the title.
Now, this guy basically has looked kind of like fucking Donkey Kong.
Mm.
Big, huge ape, kind of like monster-looking thing, giant fang. Obviously a demon, like an ape demon. Now he kind of looks like Cranky Kong. Because the blight kind of has withered him.
It's not really on anymore.
No, he looks like he should be talking about how in his day he didn't go karting with the plumbers. He fucking stole their girlfriends. And he's pissed off that someone stole all of the bananas, but he's lucky. He's happy that his grandson's gonna get to kick that guy's ass in Smash Ultimate.
Damn kids need to get out of his barrels.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. 66.
Oh wow, you're gonna get your kicks on roll 66.
It kind of sounds familiar.
Well, actually, okay. This is one I didn't expect to use, but I'm going to. You cast a spell. Your magical energy, flows into the demon and starts draining its vitality and the strength of its physical form. You can feel that happen. Something you've always been able to feel when you cast Blight is it draining the strength and vitality out of your victim. It doesn't feel good or bad. It's just, you just know what it feels like.
Mm.
It's kind of like how you know what it feels like to punch a dude.
Mm.
It's not like, punching a dude is the best feeling in the world, but if you punch a dude and then you punched a wall, you know there was a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not that stark, but as you're draining the vitality and strength out of him, you notice it feels like the magic hooks something else too. And it's pulling something else out of the demon. Or maybe out of its connection to the void. You're not really sure. But the next thing you know, in your hand is a large leather-bound book. It just appeared out of fucking nowhere.
Okay.
But you're now holding this book. Attached to it is a rather ornate pen. Attached to it by a length of black silk.
Fancy. I'm gonna throw it aside.
Yep.
I got shit to do. Nah, no time for that. There's a big fucking gorilla trying to fuck me. No, I'm just gonna drop it for now.
When you do drop the book, it opens, and you notice that written on it is just really a ledger of names. And one of the first names you see on it is Octavian Nut.
Mm-hmm.
And next to that is a dash and the word dog.
Okay.
Just saying, that's what you notice.
Okay.
Alright, so now it is time for Gopesh, the monkey demon dude. He is feeling, well, I'm just going to put it not too bluntly. He's not feeling well at all. What he is going to do is he is going to charge at it, feeling that the badness came from it. Whatever just did this to him, you know?
He's right.
Yeah, he is.
The great badness.
This great
Yes.
badness.
And he will come charging at you. He will basically be going to do his rather nasty triple attack on you.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to get 3 attacks on one target per round. However, right as he's about to lunge at you with fists raised and claws and jaws gaped open, he appears to notice something next to you that distracts him, and he just sort of barrels towards you instead. You need to make a dex save, because now you have a ball of monkey rolling at you.
I botched.
Okay, you accidentally dodge forward. Directly into him. Yeah, both of them are knocked prone, but it takes 13 bludgeoning damage
13? Okay.
from having a giant monkey demon land on top of
That's
him.
fair. I'm still fine.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to throw acid splash at this safe to try to melt it, or at least I'll if I can see the lock or the dial or whatever, I'll aim at that, assuming that's the weakest point. That or the hinges, if there's hinges.
There are both. There is what looks like a rather advanced numerical lock, where you have to move dials to show numbers and stuff. It's pretty cool. And there's also there are hinges on on your left side of the door.
Okay, I'll do it at the hinges, because there shouldn't be a failsafe on those like there might be on the dial.
Smart move. You've obviously watched a fair amount of movies where people commit crimes.
Movies, yeah.
I don't watch movies like that. I don't watch the crime boy shows, so I don't know.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw acid splash. Does it melt the hinges?
The acid splash goes on, and it definitely corrodes out the. There are 2 hinges on the door. One of them just basically falls apart. But the thing is, the acid sort of eats through that one enough, but it doesn't actually get to the second hinge. So the door is sort of not fully on, but it's also still closed because it's connected at one hinge and at the lock.
Okay, can I hit the other hinge with the butt blade this turn, or do I have to wait a turn?
I'll just give it to you the bonus action, sure, why not?
Okay, yeah, because I'm not moving anywhere. I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Let's just say I'll say you're using your move action to do it. If we have to get all detailed. Yeah, you pull out the butt blade, which again, it sounds so much dirtier than it really is. But you swing it down. Are you attacking the hinge, or are you attacking the lock? I should ask.
The hinge. I want to break the damaged hinge.
Okay. All right. You swing at the second hinge, which does break, and now you have a safe with a door, which is being held on basically by the latch of the lock itself. Meaning it's not really being held on by much of anything. It's not going to fall off just from gravity.
Yeah, no, I figure
but,
I'll end my turn starting to pry the other side, the hinge side, so I can pull it open.
Okay.
Like, just enough that I can see inside and see the head and set the thing on fire.
Okay, so that is you.
Mhm.
And now we go over to it, who is prone and currently pinned underneath a giant monkey.
Mhm.
How many times have I wanted to say that about you?
Yeah, I mean, we're getting closer to the scenario that the
foreshadowed.
spies described, so...
Yep, exactly.
I mean, can I just cast at him?
Well, let me know what spell you're thinking of, and I'll tell you what exactly the situation will
What
be.
if I just shove a fireball in his face and he has to make a dex save? What would you say to that?
I would say you'd be in the blast radius of the fireball.
Well, he's not looking too good. I am. Okay. Actually, I really want to do that, so...
Okay.
DC 17, motherfucker.
Well, actually, considering you're both prone, just roll your damage.
23. Not my best.
Yeah, would it take half of it? Or...
I'll take
Yeah.
whatever. Half of that?
You take half. 11. Alright. And that was fireball, right? That's a regular spell, isn't it?
Yep. A 26. I need to get at
Okay.
least one who fucks us over.
You feel the magic ricochet after the fire blast bashes you back in the face and knocks you. You feel some of the flow of magic just sort of like flow back into you and just settle on your tongue, and it's just hanging out,
That's it?
and you don't know what it's done.
I have it in my tongue.
It's done a thing.
Okay. I'm a great kisser now. I'm gonna have to ask Susan.
You'll be just like Ridge one day.
At this point, the demon is filled with panic because his mortal form is nearly completely dead. He's going to spend all of his action to basically just get up and try fiddling with a thing. You couldn't even barely tell it before when he was covered in fur, but now most of his fur is burnt off. He has sort of a bracelet, and he's going to start fiddling with it, like rather desperately, and that's going to be the entire turn, is standing there fiddling with the bracelet.
Okay.
Okay, so my turn? Yeah, so I'm going to... I got my fingers, like, just kind of propped in there. I'm going to just turn my head over to it and say, "Stay back!" And then, using my Sculptor of Flesh invocation, transform myself into a young red dragon. My fingers become claws, and I just pull my hand away and tear the rest of that safe door off. And then I'm going to tilt my head down, and I've got a 30-foot cone range on my fire breath. I'm hoping I can hit the demon and the head at the same time. And do, let's see, DC 17 Dex save, 5d6, 56, 16d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half on a successful.
Might I give you a minor suggestion?
Okay.
That it might work better because now you're a young red dragon. Because the way I've kind of had my headspace of this is that the safe is sort of like on one side, the it and the demon are kind of on the other side.
Okay, so as I'm ripping the door off, I fling the safe, hit the guy in the head, and then fire breath?
I think that might be super good.
Okay.
So you turn into a red dragon, you rip the door off the safe. Before the head has time to come tumbling out, you throw it into the air, shoot a vast plume of fire that incinerates... Well, it doesn't incinerate the safe itself, because the safe is actually fireproof. But it was open, so it incinerates the head, incinerates the demon, who is just about done typing in his personal hell access code. And there's a great explosion of light. Suddenly, dark. First time in this room all session, darkness. From down below, you can hear a very, very aggravated voice go, "I wasn't done eating that!"
So outrageous to toll. You can lose